Hello, how are you? Just want to say hello and just give you some encouragement today and remind you to vote 2 more weeks. Your voice matters and you count. Do not sit this one out. Do not allow the enemy to trick you, to deceive you, in thinking that your voice doesn't matter, that you don't matter. Every vote counts. For me, I have not early. I am not voting by mail. I'm voting in person. And I wanted to tell someone that is too much room, too much error, too much room and room for error if you don't vote in person. I'm telling you, if you sit this one out, what you are saying and what you are displaying is that you will sit down instead of stand up. When our nation is in crisis, yes, no man is perfect. No candidate is perfect. Ask God who he wants you to choose, because there is a perfect candidate for this season. God bless you, Mark. God bless you. But anyway, I just wanted to encourage people to vote. And if you have not done early voting, vote in person, because what the Lord has showed me behind the scene, there is just a insidious plot. We already know there's wickedness in high places. So again, I just came on here to encourage you to not sit this one out, to vote in person, to cast your vote. Too many people for the right and the freedom for women to vote, for you to vote. I don't care if you are a Democrat or a Republican. Just remember, God is not a Democrat or a Republican, but he sets up kings and rulers before us. So you have to make a decision. You have to make it, and how you should make the decision. What's best for your household? What's best for your country? What's best for your children? This needs to be a household decision to stand up for what is right for our nation, right? So again, God is not Democrat or Republican, but he is sovereign, right? And our nation was founded on biblical principles. The message today is, do not sit this one out. This is the year of the mouth wide open. So one way you can speak and be heard is through your vote. It does count and it does matter that you stand up for something so that you don't fall for everything. Don't let the narrative be that you just think that you don't matter. Because as long as you think that you don't matter, guess what? You won't matter. So you have to make a decision. Make a decision to vote for the right candidate. Ask God who he wants you to vote for. Go do your own research. Like never before, I've been actually researching both candidates. But I've also commune with the Lord and ask the Lord who he wants me to vote for. A lot of people will vote culture. You know what I mean? They will continue to vote this for the same person, decade after decade, season after season, and there's no change. I put up a post recently that said, if you want a major change, then you have to do something major. Do you know there is millions of Americans who've never voted before and who have the right to vote? And there are millions of Americans who can't vote because they were either in prison or they're, illegal, they're not citizens of America, but but because they are in America, who's in office affects them. So if you have the privilege of voting, don't opt out. Opt out, because guess what? Your vote has clout. Don't opt out because your vote has clout. Don't sit down when you should be standing up. Don't run away from decision making. Don't run away from doing something that you know to do was right. God said, when you know to do what's right and you don't know what and you don't do what's right, then you're not then you're not righteous. You're not standing up for what you believe in. That means you're sitting down. So again, don't opt out. Opt in. Make a decision, a major decision, to stand up for what is right. And ask the Lord who he wants you to, and vote for your country. Vote for your household. What's important to you, right? Well, what's priorities for you? What do you believe in? What are you standing for? And look, and let's be honest, vote for the candidate that's going to do the best for us as a whole, right? Overall, as a whole, they in 4 to 8 years they can't do everything that they promised. And just remember, a lot of politicians, they make all these promises, right? And then you have to see, are they keeping their promises? They both of the candidates have been in government for, President Trump, he's been in government now for 4 years. But you have to look at both of the candidates, their track record. And I'm not just talking about on a personal level. I'm talking about on a level of making change, bringing people together, right? So again, don't just vote for culture. Don't just vote because you've been doing the same thing over and over. That's insanity. Commune with the Lord. Write down what's important to you and your family. And again, don't opt out. And if you have the opportunity to vote in person, I would do that. A young lady put up a post that she had went and she mailed in her vote, and on her ballot it said that you are now you will permanently have to mail in your vote, your ballot. Anyway, there is too much margin for error, people. Too much margin for error. Again, do not opt out. Your voice needs to be heard. If you keep sitting down every time there's a challenge, every time there's an opportunity for you to speak up, for you to invoke change, to encourage change, if you keep sitting down, you're going to keep getting trampled over, and you're going to watch the world pass you by. And again, not making a decision, you've made the decision. If you're that one that doesn't go and vote, and you say that your voice doesn't matter, but then you're going to be the one complaining for the next 4 to 8 years. Again, I said this is the decade of Trump. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I said this is the decade of Trump, meaning God trumps whatever is happening in the White House. God trumps whatever is happening in the earth, but he needs some prayer warriors to stand in the gap for our nation, right? Psalms 9, not Psalms 91, the word of God said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways. This is a season where everyone needs to turn from their wicked ways. This is the year of alignment, right? Reset. Recover. We all need to recover from something. The folks that need to recover from COVID need to recover from this virus, right? And the earth, this nation need to recover from what has happened, right? Need to recover for what is happening right now. And we can't recover unless we come together, unless we stand on the side of right? So anyway, go vote. Don't opt out. Opt in. Let your voice be heard, because your voice matters. And as long as you think that your voice don't matter, that's how you're going to live. And you're going to settle for anything, fall for anything. And do your research on the candidates and see, vote for the candidate that best will serve our nation, households, our schools, our government. And ask God to move on the heart of our congressmen, to move on the heart of the believers, to move on the heart. There's a quote that Biden's been saying that the soul of our nation is at stake. And you know what? There's some truth to that. But what soul? I'll leave you with that. God bless you. Vote on the side of right. Ask God who he wants you to vote for, and stand up and let your voice be heard. Stop allowing the enemy to mute you because you're indecisive, to mute you because you're scared, to mute you because you lack confidence. Stop allowing the enemy to mute you. Cast your vote. And if I can encourage you, do it in person so that you know that it actually was cast, not thrown away. There's too much room for error. There's too much room for error for you when you mailed in your vote. But anyway, as long as you voted, stand up for what is right. Ask God who he wants you to vote for. and listen to him.